Joining me today on our USFL Podcast Player Interview Series, I have the pleasure to be joined by starting linebacker for the Michigan Panthers, Terry Myrick, with me. Terry, thanks for joining the show. Really, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. Honestly, I'll shout out your dad here because we were down there for the inaugural weekend. Like I said, funny story how we're linking this up, and just happened to run into your dad, Devon, and sure enough, here we are. How are things for you? How has it been post week one?
Things are awesome for me. I actually have the epitome of a player's coach in Jeff Fisher. He's really great. He's been taking great care of the players and stuff like that. So I'm just excited to get into Friday and the short week and play again. I want an opportunity to erase what we put on film as a team this past week.
Right. You know what? I'll hit the ground running with this because it's, right in the middle of it and, still kind of fresh, obviously, as we're recording today. Any other quick analysis of your week one loss, at least from the defensive side of the ball against the Gamblers? I mean, you only gave up really a field goal and a touchdown. So, not too shabby, 10 points, held you guys to, shut them out in the second half. So feels like you guys did your job for the most part.
Defensively, I really think we showed what we're capable of, especially with a short 3-week camp. But like I said, there's always room for improvement. There's some things we can sharpen up in the run defense and some secondary stuff that we can clean up. And we look to show them what we've worked on over the week this upcoming Friday.
Mm-hmm. How is Jeff as a coach, by the way? He said players coach, which usually that's something, obviously, I love hearing that whenever I get to talk to folks that are, of course, playing like that and that they relate, person to person there. How is he for you? How's the experience been, at least with his staff? I can tell you on week one, when we watched him play, he was definitely fired up over, of course, how the certain game flow was going. So,
yeah, like I say, coach is awesome. He is a player's coach. He takes care of us really well. We didn't have any soft tissue injuries coming into week one. Before I knew it, we were playing on all cylinders. All cylinders were firing because of coaching. He really just makes sure that we're confident. He walks around with a swagger about himself, and it helps us walk around with a swagger about ourselves. And it's really, it's radiant. It's contagious. It's contagious, I must say. I love him as a coach, and I can't wait to see how he carries us throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. I really liked him coming in kind of, when we were talking about the new coaches early on, he very much seems like he's just taking this as a new experience to get back into the game after a little time off. In the swagger, I could see it, just the backwards cap, something I swear I've never seen him in pros do that. So it's just like, maybe a new attitude, Jeff Fisher. So yeah. I look at that. for yourself, I got to ask, it's in Birmingham, it's the main city. I tell you, I had a great time myself when I was down there this past weekend. How's it been for you, at least this past month? I know you're not in the hotel per se anymore, but how was training camp, at least that whole process of getting onboarded and just getting ready to go?
It was pretty smooth with such a short time that the league had. They got everything through up, the weight room, the way we were eating, meeting rooms. They had that set up pretty efficiently. So I think that living in the hotel and being in the hotel throughout camp was extremely convenient. You woke up and I was literally 3 floors above my meeting rooms where I would meet every morning with the defense and stuff like that. I could wake up, go down and grab me some breakfast, sit down and enjoy that, and then shoot on down to the meeting room about 10 minutes early so I could be ready every day.
Nice little location there to keep everything in place, get things moving. Because we're seeing in United by Football, I know you guys got the cameras all over the place with that facility for the training camp that, same thing you're talking. Everything's in kind of a constrained location right between each other, but they are, you're trying to keep it as close to teams are separate in their own ecosystems as much as possible. I assume you're still, obviously with that being the home base, you're still going over there for meetings and such, for practices. Is that correct?
Every day. I'm about 5 minutes away from where I'm living right now, and I go over there every day. It's really a straight shot from where I am.
Nice. And then let me check here. If I'm seeing this right, so locker rooms are also in that place as well. Because it's like they really took that hotel and just kind of just transformed it to everything you need in a one-stop shop.
Right. The locker rooms are connected in the convention center. There's a skywalk that we go over. to the convention center and go up into our locker rooms, which is also connected to the weight room and training room per se. It's really neat. It's really neat.
Nice.
Everything is consolidated.
Doing the best you can here. You know, a lot of talk has been made, at least just with the hub system. They brought back, of course, a lot of the teams that, they originally were from a different USFL into this new one. You're playing for my favorite team, Michigan Panthers. Clearly, as it's been said now, even more so over the weekend to those that are been first exposed to the league, you're not in Michigan right now.
Right.
How is the environment for you playing in the field? I know for some players, it's just I'm focused in on the play on the field. I don't need to feed off crowd. But I know obviously week 1, crowd wasn't fully out there. Do you feed off that energy, or is it just I'm razor focused in on doing my assignment, reading the play as a linebacker?
Well, coming from college, I am a guy that's straight out of college. So I played in the COVID type deal. So I'm actually kind of used to having to channel in all of my attention and, intensity into just the game and my opponent and not feed off a crowd. So it was something that I was used to, and I was able to take advantage of it with the play that I put out.
Nice. I know you're talking great point. You are straight out of college, played for Eastern Michigan had 5 seasons there. Maction has its own reputation in the Midwest. That's I actually come from Ball State, funny enough. So definitely, chirp for us there. Yeah. We've had our own spurts of success or trial and error against you guys in recent years. You have a favorite Maction moment for yourself? Just going back a season, maybe a few.
I would say my favorite Maction moment was in 2020. I had a strip sack. It was a forced fumble recovery against Toledo. It was on national TV. Everybody was going crazy about it. People, Twitter, social media, it was really cool. It was a good play. And that was definitely my favorite moment. We lost the game, but I had an amazing game, and I made one of the biggest plays in my college career.
Nice. I love those late night games. Just makes it a little bit special, I'll tell you what, one thing with the USFL I've noticed, I kind of want to see if you think the same. It really feels like it's trying to put the best of like a college experience in terms of like connecting with the coaches and how they're brought in, especially with the setups, besides maybe Jeff being, of course, NFL pedigree, and how they brought in these players with developing, getting to the next level meets the best of what pro ball is. Are you kind of getting that?
Most definitely. I still do have like that college feel with the camaraderie and how we're all together in one central location. It's like a training camp for everybody. And my coaches, I've never had the relationship that I've had with a coach that I have now, where like literally we on the phone all day. We chop it up about personal things and stuff. It's crazy. So I really think the USFL is doing a good job in that regard.
I got to ask you, you're on, of course, defensive units got their own names. You guys on the Panthers have any unit names going out there already?
I would say we got a pretty cliche name, D-Block.
Okay. I mean, I've seen the Gamblers. They got the, I think it's a Hitmen. That's what I've been seeing or something like that.
Yeah, Houston Hitmen. Well, they lived up to their little name this past game. Hopefully we can match their intensity this upcoming week and get some ball production.
Right. Well, hey, this week you got it's rivalry week in the USFL. You're going to be taking on the New Jersey Generals. Right. They're coming off really what looked like a hot start, just missed the mark off of a rally from the Birmingham Stallions there. What are you looking at? I mean, for example, you got for yourself, Luis Perez and DeAndre Johnson, they split time. That's been an element that seems to have kind of been part of this whole deal. How are you guys looking at evaluating a team right now when at least half the league, it seems, is still kind of picking and choosing who they want to start?
Well, yeah, usually splitting quarterback reps kind of cripples an offense because it knocks off the chemistry and stuff.
Right.
It's really worked well for them. They really fed off of DeAndre's energy with the running and stuff. And then Luis would come in and throw some vertical passes, get some quick passes out. It was really working pretty good. So hopefully we could neutralize one and focus in on the other.
Yeah, I mean, just like we're saying, Johnson had 24 consecutive runs at one point. So odds are, you don't want to, of course, fall into that lull. but I mean, you being the first line of defense past the front four, it's going to be definitely a challenge.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
You got a favorite spot in Beeham you found to eat, go out and about?
I would say that I eat at Wings or Kings a lot. I love chicken wings, so they got some good wing options with the flavors, and I like how they prepare their chicken. I like Wings or Kings for sure.
Got to make that one marked down. I'll tell you one if you haven't been there, and I'll tell you teammates, Saw's Barbecue.
Okay.
Really good option. No joke. Their homemade barbecue sauce is like this slight sweet, slight heat. Perfect combination.
Okay.
Just got to pass that along, I guess. You know?
Sure. I'm gonna type that in my notes.
Yeah. Hey, put it somewhere. I don't know. Not in your defensive notes, but anywhere else you want to put it, go right ahead.
Notes on my Mac. Saw's Barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Terry, I got to ask, and just because, yourself, I think it's a little different for, I think with you being straight out of college. You're taking, I mean, unlike some of these guys who've gone to camps in the NFL and they're trying to get right back, you're taking this and you're going right into the thick of it with a professional league, not NFL, but still one that has plenty of talent and resources to help you if you want to get to that next step. What are your goals for your first year, really as a true rookie in any professional setting?
My goal is to definitely get it to the biggest level I can get to. I saw this opportunity as one that no one had taken before, coming from the collegiate ranks. I don't think anybody in the AAF or the XFL prior, I don't think anybody was fresh out of college going to those leagues. They had a lot of free agents and stuff that had already played football maybe a couple years prior. And I saw this as an opportunity with me being fresh out, still in playing shape, just to have an evaluation against players that have played in camps, not even camps, like former starters at some levels.
Right.
Just being evaluated against their talents and letting scouts and staff see that I can handle playing at this level.
I like that, and I mean, you're just, I mean, for you, like, obviously this league keeps going, which many of us fans like myself really want to see it, keep going. A lot of people connect with these brands as well. Stallions fans alone, you're going to be seeing that soon enough when you get to play them, of course. But I mean, you guys do get to set the table for possibly getting that first season, being that first start to what could be something special.
Right.
So that has to be, I mean, that's got to be a great feeling if you get that chance. I'm thinking here, are you adjusted to any of the broadcast elements on the field? Obviously the drones, people have talked about the sound, they're around. Do you ever get distracted by them, or have you just gotten adjusted to that at this point?
I would say when I'm on the sideline, I can really hear it more, and it's more annoying on the sideline. But in the game, I'm so channeled in and locked in on what's going on with my opponent that it's really not even there. It could be right next to me, and I'm not able to focus on that. I'm able to focus on the guy that's across the line of scrimmage from me. So I'm used to it.
All right. That I've wondered, man, because if I back in high school, I would have freaked out every now and then have one of those things fly around. And I'll tell you, in the stands, they dive bomb so strange. So it's a great effect if you haven't seen it already, of course. But defensively, I just get freaked out. I'm glad you're adjusted. That's all I can say.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Terry, I want to say thanks for joining up for this quick conversation. I'm wishing the best for you here. You got any final words? Where can we find you, at least for the crowd here? Because I mean, they definitely want to keep following you. You're already off to a great start with 7 tackles already, so you're going to be in the thick of things, in the limelight on defense for the Panthers through the season.
Okay. Well, you guys can definitely follow me on Instagram at Terry Myrick _, and then on Twitter at Terry _Myrick.
All right.
Both of those social media platforms. Probably can tag it on the videos link. You'll be able to add me on that.
Awesome stuff. Terry Myrick here from the Michigan Panthers, starting linebacker for them. Thank you so much for joining the show. Really appreciate the time. Best of luck with you this week for rivalry week against the Generals and for the rest of the season for you, my friend.
No problem. Thank you very much. Be seeing you.